Welcome to Push with Love. Today we have Mandy joining us in conversation about the laws of attraction, serendipity, and various subjects relating to it. But we were just speaking on how the law of attraction has to do with personal desire. And that would be interesting to kind of dive into the differences between serendipity and the laws of attraction.
Um, the law of attraction is used by folks in order to manifest something. Uh, like the back cover of my book says it, turn your thoughts into reality. Well, if you think about it, you probably want something, whatever it is. If you don't want something and you still think about what you want, you get what you don't want. That's the problem with the law of attraction. And there are dozens of books written on how to manipulate the law of attraction to work for you, how to manifest with it. And many authors and so-called teachers of the law of attraction made a lot of money by teaching it. And I wouldn't go into names. Those who are interested can Google law of attraction and find out what they have to say and what they sell. But law of attraction enriched into millionaire status many people. At some point, I felt that there is something else going on. I have a friend that's Chuck Dodge. And when my Green Book was released, he grabbed it and studied it. And then he comes back to me and he says, you say that to manifest, you don't need to do anything? I wrote it, it was like in a trance. I didn't think, I said, is it really written there? And he says, yes. I said, well, the explanation is very simple. You don't need to, people say, oh, you have to write down, you have to have an index card in your pocket, you have to pray. And I gave him the explanation, and the explanation was very simple. He said, look at your life. It's like you're living watching a conveyor belt. If you know what you want and life is moving around you like on a conveyor belt, at some point, whatever you want pops up. And then you grab it, and you say, oh, the law of attraction got that to me. And there was something that happened to Chuck Dodge. I kind of, I don't know if I told you, but that's something personal. But anyway, um, uh, he got the love of his life. All he did was standing in line for uh, a morning coffee at McDonald's, and there was a lady behind him, and then his friend came in, and they didn't see each other, so they hugged, and they're in line, and that lady says to them, "Wouldn't one of you hug me?" And Chuck, being as open as he is, said, I'll hug you. Then they paid, and so on. And as the story goes, he thought, well, I should ask her phone number. She will they give it to him or not give it to him, whatever. And she gave him his phone number, and the rest is a happy ending.
Very nice.
Well,
So,
he was looking for a lady.
yeah, he was open to it, and it happened.
Well, somewhere not while standing in line at McDonald's, the menu is there different. And I interpreted it a little bit differently. Um, I interpreted it as having a random encounter with a fortunate outcome.
Mm.
I'm talking about, you see, I'm talking about general words. With the law of attraction, you have to specify what you want. Uh, with, with serendipity, uh, you don't specify anything. The more one's mind is open, the more good things come to us. Now, you can give me a list of many bad things that happen to nice people. Well, I'll tell you that a lot of people go around and they have they put conditions in their life. Okay, I want um, a black Malibu car, black Chevrolet Equinox. And as they go to the dealership and the salesman shows them uh, a yellow Equinox, one of those neon yellow ugly things you see sometime on the street. And he said, I don't want that. But he said, that's on sale. No, but I wanted a black one. And the moment you keep on going into negotiations and haggling with the universe, you pay for it and you not necessarily get what you want. It could have grabbed for cheap another Equinox, maybe be repainted later. I don't. Um, Somewhere I published something that said somebody was looking for a key to open the door, and so he started to look for a crowbar to break the door open. Yet all of a sudden he forgot to look around, and the key was lying there. You don't need a crowbar. The key is somewhere near you. It's easy for me to convince you, but look at the history between me and you. We bumped into each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Then after a while, you send me, do you want to join me for a podcast? I didn't ask you. I just said yes. I could have arranged for that myself, but I, I'm into the writing and publishing, and you did for me a big service. I never asked you. I had to ask you where are you located even. Remember?
Yeah, yeah,
Things,
yeah. We've had a
things,
pretty good conversation.
things come up. Now I'll finish with that and I'll stop there. But you, I have the mindset that it's not my idea. This has been for around for 2,000 years. The universe is rich. The universe is rich, full of energy and good objects in it. And all we have to do is open our mind, see it, and if we want it, we can grab it. People looking for a job, well, because they can't get a job because they are very picky. Such is life. Uh, when I was about 20 years old, I was looking for a girlfriend. I ended up marrying a girlfriend. We were classmates in grade school and in high school, and we were married for 40 years. We were near each other for the first 18 years.
Yeah, that's nice when that happens. It works out. I think the one thing that I often think about when it comes to serendipity or the laws of attraction is if it is the individual that causes it, or if it is the universe that causes it, or if it is a collaboration. Something I often think about.
Is that a question or a statement?
More of a statement. What is it that you have seen in your lifetime when it comes to that? Do you feel that it's more of an individual effort or if it's a collaboration?
Delete the word effort. The moment you're talking about effort, then you're going to have some difficulties. Everything comes effortless. Well, for many years I didn't know it even. I didn't understand it. But things come to us effortless. People, oh, where do you want to go? Where should we go visit or travel? So, wherever you want. I'm telling you, well, it was going to be interesting. Every opportunity is a photo opportunity. We'll post it on Facebook. Looking backward, my life was opportunistic, so to say, but I didn't understand it. Whatever I have is opportunistic. Now I know it. I have two great grandsons. I got nothing to do with it. Then I say I have. Well, they are not mine. They are mine. in reality, in the how things developed. My daughters did what they wanted. My granddaughters went ahead and did what they wanted. And now my great grandsons do what they want. Everybody has a mind of their own.
And it's interesting that one moment can cause so much change in the world.
You ask me if it's a collaboration. Well, me and you are part of the universe. We are collaborating.
It does take two.
Say it again.
So it does take two. The other thing I found interesting when I was reading your book was the parallels in the Bible when it comes to the laws of attraction and how they reference the phenomenon inside the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And they were aware of it, or it's been around, or at least people have been aware of it for a long time, this phenomenon that we are interacting with the universe as we live in it. And the one thing that I always reflect on is if people were able to communicate directly with the universe and the universe could communicate back to them, then why haven't we been able to see it in real life? Whereas we would then create a world or a universe that is in harmony with itself rather than so much destruction. That's the one thing I think about a lot.
Distraction is a negative word, which implies that something is unwanted. That's if someone feels distracted, that's their opinion, their feeling about what's going on around them. They don't like it, probably, I guess. Otherwise, they will not call it distraction, but welcome it.
Just change. Yeah, I can see that. It would be more of just change rather than destruction.
If you think that something is a distraction, this is your opinion, the way you feel about it. That's your personal perception and your personal disposition. Somebody else wouldn't consider it as a distraction necessarily.
Yeah, subjective.
So, in a sort of summarizing it, I left behind me the law of attraction. And I realized that the key thing is to try to generate more serendipitous opportunities in my life. And that means, number one, open-mindedness.
I think that's the secret, really, to creating positive change. It's just being open-minded.
If you're not open-minded, if a person is not open-minded, that means that he has negative attitudes towards certain things and a positive attitude because they want something or desire something.
Yeah.
Buddhist believers, the Buddhist Dharma is closer to the concept of serendipity more than anyone else in the Western society. There are a billion and a half people who live in the country of India, and 1.5 billion people live in the country of China. What's common to them is they're not all Buddhists, Chinese are Confucianists, whatever. But it's nice to see how those two nations try to avoid war between the two, and they have some bolder disagreements, but they always cool down the disagreement. Both have nuclear weapons. They don't threaten each other. Yet you look at Muslims and Christians, they're always fighting.
Yeah, that's interesting. The conflict of how religion can kind of cause people to have more interest in mutual destruction and borders or disputes, I guess, land disputes.
Yeah. You look for disputes, you find it.
Yeah.
So this is where I am. I have, as I think I mentioned to you, I have 8 blogs. I'm more into the writing and publishing, and there is one can say that there is a way to create serendipitous opportunities, or to engineer serendipity. And I am into that.
Yeah.
But whatever comes my way, I know that it just, that's what comes to me. And it's my decision to take it or ignore it.
Yeah.
But, and again, I'm not the first one, but serendipity encounters and serendipity opportunities are out there. And if you have the right mindset, you act as a magnet for serendipitous opportunities. Does that sound promising to you?
Absolutely. I agree. I feel like when we are able to get in the right mindset, it's just inevitable, really, because you're drawing in positive into your life, open mindedness, and an open heart. I think that's really important. Of course, if you have the opposite, you're going to attract the opposite, attract problems, attract the heartache. But
All right, I see that we are now talking, recording for half an hour.
yeah,
We can continue any other time. It's not a problem.
yeah, yeah. I feel like that was. It's always a good. It's always good to dive into this idea of serendipity and staying open. I appreciate you having a conversation with me, Mandy, and I appreciate the wisdom that you shared with me. If you have anything that you'd like to say before we end it, please go ahead.
No, our meeting and conversation is just a proof. It was a give and take. You wanted to have it. I said, hell yeah, why not? We can continue or whatever else. It's that simple. Uh, it's nice to know what one wants, but it's not a requirement.
Mm.
I'm not advocating to float in life or to have a 5 year wish list or objects, goal setting for 5 years. Hell, you can go on the street, somebody will run over you.
Very good. Well, thank you. And this has been Push with Love with Mandy Linder. Please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.